What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So, the 2022 International Boxing Hall of Fame class has been announced, and it is indeed a star studded group. It is an 8-person uh, class of fighters and boxing affiliated personalities. They include former boxing champions Roy Jones Jr., James Toney, Miguel Cotto, former UFC champion Holly Holm, who started as a boxer, Regina Halmich, publicist Bill Caplan, journalist Ron Borges, and executive Bob Yalen. The star amongst the group, of course, is Roy Jones Jr. Let me say this first. So if anybody that's got any, question marks about this. The bout that he and Mike Tyson had last year was not an official fight. It wasn't an official fight. Therefore, it doesn't count as a actual official fight. So, in the eyes of boxing, he still was retired. So it doesn't reset him. All right. So, Roy Jones Jr., man, one of the greatest fighters in the history of boxing, in my opinion. One of the greatest fighters, the greatest athlete I've seen as a fighter, in my opinion. I'm not saying he's the greatest fighter, but he's one of the greatest athletes. He was robbed of the gold medal at the 1988 Olympics in Seoul, Korea, but still received the Val Barker Trophy as the most outstanding boxer in the Olympiad. Roy Jones would win titles at middleweight, super middleweight, light heavyweight, and heavyweight, becoming the first former middleweight champion in 100 years to win a heavyweight title. Roy Jones Jr., unbelievable, unbelievable fighter. Andrew, not Andrew Toney, excuse me. I'm thinking about boxing. Andrew Toney, Marco Alvarone, No Baloney, Moses Malone, Fo, Dr. J. No, but James Toney had PED issues that led some to question his qualifications, and he had lost a heavyweight title he won because of it, but he was arguably the pound for pound best at one point and had titles at middleweight, super middleweight, and cruiserweight. James Toney, one of the great fighters, technical fighters we've ever seen. Only issue James Toney had really was, he needed a speech therapist, and he stuck his head in the refrigerator from a little bit too much. You know what I'm saying? But hey, even when he was 250, he still would whoop your ass. You know. And then you have Miguel Cotto. Miguel Cotto, one of the great fighters who represented Puerto Rico in the 2000 Olympics, won championships at super lightweight, welterweight, super welterweight, and middleweight. He fought all the best of his era, including Floyd Mayweather, Canelo Alvarez, and Manny Pacquiao. He stopped Sergio Martinez in the 10th round in 2014 to win the middleweight belt. Holly Holm is now best known for her success as a mixed martial artist. She upsetted Ronda Rousey in 2015 to become the UFC's bantamweight champion. But before she got into MMA, she was 33-2-3 as a boxer and held titles at super lightweight, welterweight, and super welterweight. And Regina Hamlet, who fought primarily in Germany during her career that lasted for 13 years from 94 to 2007, was 54-1-1. Her only loss was to Yvonne Trevino in Las Vegas in Hamlet's 8 pro fights. So I want to salute everybody that is going into this Hall of Fame class. To me, though, Roy is in the class by himself. But tell me what you guys think.